That's all good. Say it again.
Women Empowered.
Oh my God. We could have just flowed through with that.
So you can also reach us at our website at womenempoweredmn.com.
Women Empowered is for every single woman. We strive to create a sisterhood. We want to create a safe space. We want to encourage and empower one another. We just want to be the sisters that you never had. So it doesn't matter your color, it doesn't matter your culture, your race. We are Women Empowered for all women.
What services do we offer? We offer quarterly events. We even have some exciting things that we haven't even put out in the works for y'all. So we got a lot to bring, a lot.
Much more.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live Out Loud Wednesdays with Women Empowered. Tonight we are spotlighting businesses, and we have Miss Courtney Bailey with us. I can't pronounce the other one, so you're gonna have to pronounce it.
Okay, that's actually the easy part of my name because if you knew my whole name of my husband, you'd be like, huh. So the name I was given by my husband's tribe, which is the Airways from Togo and Ghana, is Ayile Yawa Namavu Tetevi. Now you see why I kept the American in there. So my last name is Tetevi through my husband, which means that his ancestor was a second born son.
Oh,
So that's the interesting part of it. So once again, thank you, ladies. Thank you for inviting me this night. I was absolutely nervous, but you know what? I'm just gonna be myself, a simple old Chicago girl. Okay. So is there any questions you guys want to ask me, or should I just take it away?
Well, we just want to. Oh, go ahead.
We'll finish introducing you. Miss Courtney is with Warm Hands and Warm Hearts Foundations for the Homeless, and she also has Mary Kay. So I guess I have a question about the Warm Hands, Warm Hearts. How has that evolved for you in the last couple of years?
Warm hands, warm heart. It's always been, well, first thing first, I'm a shelter advocate. I do have a regular 9 to 5. I work as a shelter advocate. And as a former person who was homeless, as well as my organization is involved with people who are on the autism spectrum disorder
Okay.
spectrums. So I am also autistic, and I'm raising 3 autistic sons. So
Okay.
I've noticed that in the community with those who have lost, who we like to say, we don't like to say homeless, let's say unhoused, people on the spectrum, people who are neuro introverts, they get hit the hardest. They don't know where they're gonna go. They don't know how to. Some of them don't know how to maneuver. Not saying they lack intelligence. It's like this is too. Sometimes it's overwhelming. So last year I was talking to some beautiful ladies that I know in my community. Uh, Crystal Mays, she has an organization called Conceal and Carry, and she also it's called her other. So sorry, her other organization is also called Two Loves and a Dove. Um, a homegirl of mine in Shreveport, Louisiana, gave me a call. Her name is Tammy, part of the Wise Butterfly, where she teaches agriculture and sustainable abilities of making your own food, growing your own food in your neighborhood. And Rafalia Sha'ala, a wonderful sister of mine who I met from Cleveland, Ohio, who is on here right line. Thank you. Love you, Rafala, who writes books and does things called, she has a thing called Truth Over Tradition. It's a wonderful website where she shows natural products for skin, hair, for your gut. So these wonderful sisters say, you know what? Let's get together and let's do something. And we're going to start in your state, which is the state of Minnesota. Um, it started off as maybe just giving away maybe some coats and things like that, a couple of resources, um, hygiene products, coffee, hot chocolate, donuts during the cold months. And it started off with just a bunch of us trying to collect money. And in turn, we end up getting donations from sisters who are part of this lovely, lovely podcast. Gave me some beautiful things to help the homeless, and it changed my life, and it made me, you know what, I'm going to continue on doing this. I'm going to continue on doing this, and I love it. I love it. Um,
I love that.
it is warming to the soul. I, like myself, when I came here, I was homeless and pregnant with my second child. So I wish, don't get me wrong, Minnesota is friendly, but I wish people, there's some people that work in this sector that are not as compassionate.
Hmm.
And it taught me how to be humble, respectful, and you never know. The same person you think is at the bottom is going to be on top. So stay humble, stay blessed, and just do the best you can while you're on this earth. So that is what I'm doing. We're going to probably do another giveaway in the wintertime, bigger than the one we had. Last time we gave away, oh my gosh, what, like 100 coats or more. Hot chocolate for the little kids, donuts at a community center, and we still have some stuff left. We're getting still getting donations. We're still getting people coming in, helping us out. We want to stretch to something even better. My dream is to have my own shelter for my community, and that people can feel safe and not feel judged because they don't have a place right now. And as we know, the situation with housing is getting skyrocketing, skyrocketing, skyrocketing. And you're making tough decisions whether you're going to pay this rent or when your next meal coming. So I would hope and pray that I meet the right people to make this dream just blossom into something that can touch so many people in the state of Minnesota and maybe throughout the country.
Nice.
I love that. I love the mission. I love the story behind it. Um, Turning something, negative into something positive.
Mhm.
I love success stories. So yes, let us know how we can support this next venture, because we appreciate you for even just being here, but even what you do. I mean, there's not a lot of people who are wanting to just take that time and help out people, and not even ask for anything in return. That's the amazing part about it. When you come across people like that, it's amazing. You have to highlight and help them and continue to push them forward. So let us know how we can help support you.
So, just spread the word around. If you come across anything, coats, hats, gloves during the winter, you know how it is in Minnesota. You
Hmm.
know, cats sit on us every year, faithfully. So there are times that the homeless shelters here they can be full, and these people are out here sleeping in this blistering cold weather with just a little bit of jacket, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
A pair of gloves can change someone's life.
Yeah.
A warm coat can get a person to the mindset where they can get through the next day. A piece of work clothes, get them ready. They go for a job interview.
Hmm.
That changes a person's disposition. When I went through it, pregnant, had baby on my hip, baby in my womb, I had to go through struggles of getting up from the shelter because they got to wake you up at a certain time, not eating the foods you want to eat or the food don't always be the best, and pregnancy. And people talking to you sometimes as if you're subhuman because you are in a shelter, not knowing, oh, this person is college educated. It's just circumstances. So I hope and pray that this will blossom into something, like I said, that will give people back their dignity and self respect. We can't make it without each other. I don't care what you say, I don't care
Hmm.
how much money you got. You need somebody there with you.
Yeah.
And it's
Believe
nothing.
it or
So that's why I said warm hands, keep your hands warm because it's freezing and show compassion to warm someone's heart.
yeah.
I like that.
Believe it or not, me and Davina met in a shelter.
Yes.
In a domestic violence shelter. That's where we met. Let's see, 17 years ago? No,
Longer than that.
16. No, because Virgie was in diapers and she'll be 18.
Virgie was one. Oh,
Okay.
so 17.
Yeah, 17 years ago, we were in a shelter, and I remember just personally, like you said, experiencing people looking down on you, people looking at you like you're nothing. And um, I remember just bringing in the little bit of stuff that me and the girls had, and then like accumulating stuff because you're in the shelter. They start to donate things. And I remember
Mhm.
Davina was my roommate, and she said, "Why y'all got all that stuff? Why you got all this stuff for you and them little babies?" And I'm like, "Cause I don't have nothing. I'm just trying to hold on to what little bit of stuff I got." So I definitely understand and resonate with knowing, just a little bit of help can get you farther along in life. And never did I know at that time that I would be, in the position to be able to, have this podcast and be able to help women and have our business. I never, imagined I would be here right now versus where I have been. I'm
Yeah.
glad I wasn't pregnant, but I did have, a new baby and a 3.5 year old. So I definitely understand like the
It
struggle
was
is
amazing.
nothing
It,
nice.
it taught me a lot of things. It kind of became like our own little social club in the family shelter in St. Paul. So I admit, we weren't supposed to bring in certain things like juice and things like that, but I brought in my snacks. Okay, I'm pregnant. Leave me alone. I want my graham crackers. I want my hot chips, and I want my juice. Don't bother me. But surprisingly, to this day, and it's been, oh wow, see, my son is going to be oldest going to be 13. It's been 13 years since I've been in the state of Minnesota, and I still keep up with most of the same women that I met, and I'm watching them progress and become mothers, and some of them became grandmothers because there was teenagers in there, and like I said, it humbled me a lot. And it also made me a little bit ferocious because some people, like I said, some of them advocates at work that got attitude problems, and I had to let them know just because I'm 5'1" with a size 11 shoe, don't mean I'm not with it. You're affecting me and my children. Get out of my way so I can have my ice chips and my graham crackers and go to sleep. Leave me alone. And I got to cook. Sometimes when I would feel really good, me and some of the women and some of the guys, because it was a family shelter, we would get together and we would cook for everybody. So it bonds you. It makes you understand that it can be better, but it still can be 10 times worse because you might not be even breathing at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yep.
remember those days, and it inspired me to later on do the jobs that I did. Used to work as home health aide and veterans rights and all this stuff, and then working as a shelter advocate. And I said, you know what? And that's my sister, Miss. Thank you, Tangi, the plant lady. She called me one day with that sweet Southern voice. Gal, you always helping everybody. You can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I had to get out of my comfort shell. And I thank every sister from Women's Empowerment that gave me donations or encouraging words or even checking on me. Um, the first time I met you guys physically was at the at a vendor, and I'm like, everybody here is so pretty,
Oh,
and I'm selling my Mary Kay, a black woman. Everybody here is so pretty. Um, yeah, I need to leave or find some chicken wings or a shot of something.
Yep.
and you
Leave
And
right
found
now.
you
Eb-
some wings. You
Ebony
found
told
you
me
some
just get you
wings.
some chicken wings, and and it gave me a chance to really get around people and talk about it
Mm-hmm.
and sell my Mary Kay. So that's my other job. I sell Mary Kay, and yes, Mary Kay does still exist. It's still around. I use it myself, and yes, it does cater to black women.
Mm-hmm.
But
Let's talk a little bit more about that. Ooh,
oh my good, oh girl, as you see, I'm wearing my beautiful Mary Kay. My chocolate lip gloss is one of our best sellers for brown skin,
Mm.
light skin. I love this color. It's my go-to. This and black cherry goes with anybody's skin tone. I jazz up a little. I'm not a big makeup artist. I can pick you out some stuff, but don't ask me to put the makeup on your face. I'm still working on it. Okay, but I did the
That's
best I
okay.
could tonight with my foundation. And a lot of things that I love to do is that first thing people say, "Oh, Mary Kay, that's a broke on my skin." Okay, well, you don't have to use that foundation. That's fine. That's
Yeah.
cool. I'm not a pushing type woman. I said, but you ever go to the nail shop and get your feet done, and they charge you X amount of dollars about your feet? You $20 more, $40 more for your teeth. Well, you can come on and take that $20, $30 and buy some hand scrub from me, baby.
There you
Mm,
go.
You take this right here. This is excellent. This is our satin hands, but you can also use it on your feet. It takes
Hmm.
away the dead skin. It makes your skin feel soft. It's comfortable. And you know, us living here in Minnesota, it dries out our skin, especially us melanated women.
Hmm.
So I love this set. Now you know we grew up. If you was ashy, if you was ashy. Now I know I grew up in the '90s. You got talked about.
Hmm.
But hey, I'm like, okay, you want to support a black business? Okay, come support me, darling. I said, I got something for your hands, for your feet, lip gloss. And one best thing about it, we have a money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, it don't come out the way you like it, we will send your money back.
Yep.
nice.
And a lot of things I do like about Mary Kay is Mary Kay is a female, it's a female owned company. And a lot of proceedings go to domestic violence as well as cancer, breast cancer associations.
I love that.
And they do DEI. I ain't hear nobody from Mary Kay talking about they don't want to showcase their black or brown consultants. They always showcase us. And I'm also blessed to have one of the few black um, unit leaders, Miss Lucretia Payne Owens.
Okay.
So she says on us, she said, "Hey, you can do it. You can do it." I'm like, "Okay, Lucretia, I'm tired, but you have to keep going." So I also take some of the proceeds from my Mary Kay business and I put it into Warm Hands, Warm Hearts, getting the coats, getting the gloves. I'll take it out of my own pocket.
I love that.
The site that I saw that day was Sister Crystal and a couple others. When I saw those little children who didn't have coats and hats, but I saw their faces just glow up, their cold hands, and now they got warm hands. I said, "Baby, you want a donut? I want two." Okay, okay, okay. And it's a
I
beautiful
think it
thing.
helps too with sales when people know that it is going towards a good cause.
Hmm.
Absolutely,
I know people would want to support that. So um,
absolutely.
you will be at our next event on the 17th, right?
Of course, I got my table. Now
Okay.
I don't know what I don't know what outrageous outfit I'm gonna wear, so don't be surprised what I got on. Last time I came there, I was very conservative, pink with the Chanel looking dress, but I was so uncomfortable because the girdle was killing me.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
So I'm sorry. Towards the end, I had to take that bad boy off. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
We should add that on the flyer. No girdles allowed at our
No
event.
waist trainers. No, we're not
No.
doing that. We're not doing that, ma'am.
Uncomfortable.
But yeah, it's been like I said, I use some of the proceeds from my Mary Kay business for Warm Hands One Heart. I also do some of my proceeds. I help with another organization in Ghana,
Ooh.
which is advocating for children who have autism. It's called It Takes a Village by a really lovely sister named Nikki Pace. I got my plant lady sister down there in Shreveport, Louisiana. I got my beautiful friends and sisters, and then I met you guys. I met these amazing women with so much light beaming off them. And when I met Devin, I had to sit next to her. I kept looking. I was like, she is gorgeous.
Thank
I don't know if
you.
I should love her or hate her.
Just love me. Just
She
love
too pretty. She too pretty. I don't want her. And I said, no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I love being around people. And Davia, I remember you one time I was crying and you called me. You didn't know me from a killer bean. I came on the call and I was literally sobbing. This woman got off the phone and called and checked on me.
me.
Now, if that's not sisterhood, I don't know what else is.
Hmm.
Yeah, Wise Butterfly is my sister over there. And this is the best thing about this organization. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to be on here. I don't know how long you want me, but One thing I also love about this organization is that it's not fake. You're gonna tell it like it is. You do it in a respectful way, and it has a spiritual grounding, a spiritual undertone, which I think is beautiful.
That's how we're supposed to be for sisters.
Yeah,
Yep.
and as women, women, we are taught, especially in this country, we are taught to we're taught to hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
We're taught to be, especially sisters of color, we're taught to be in competition, brown skin, light skin. Th- It's over with now.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's over with.
Yep.
You're my sisters. We may not be blood, but we family.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tell people a lot when I'm on the phone with my clients and they're crying down, I said, look, because I have to take in their emotion. It brings me down with my clients. And I said, you know what? I don't know you, but I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I love your spirit. I love your mind. I love you. When's the last time we as women just sat around, just gave each other a big old hug
It
without
should
giving
be
without
frequent.
without the side eye?
Right.
It should be very frequent.
You see, every
It's
time I'm somewhere, I'm like, please, please hug me.
Yep. I've been to 5 different African countries, and the thing that I brought back from them was embracing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I learned a lot,
Yeah.
and it can start with just something like, "Oh, girl, you got some cute shoes,"
Yep.
or "Your hair look nice," or "Your eyelashes look good." Anything. That little compliment, oh my goodness, it changes your whole day.
Mm-hmm.
It
You don't
do.
know what that person's going through, and as women, we gotta do better.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta do better. We can't worry about what the men folks is doing because they're gonna do what they want to do no matter what.
Right.
But
Right.
we are moms, we are sisters, we are aunties, we are the backbone of the community of all communities. Without the backbone, the head will not have no place to go.
Yep.
Yep.
And when I joke around with people, they say, "Oh, women this," I said, "Let me tell you something. By the time the Creator created women, everything was ready. We didn't have to worry about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The land was ready, animals were straight, food was ready, man was there. We didn't do nothing but look cute. He made us last, so I'm honored to be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it made us last because we are sacred.
We're very sacred. Our wombs, our
Yeah.
love for each other, our love for Him. We pray to the Most High all the time. I don't care what you're going through. Everybody got to go to Grandma for a prayer, or Auntie for a prayer.
Yep.
There's something about our emotions get to them.
Yep.
So, yes. Is there anybody have any questions?
Somebody
Mm,
said, let me just read the chat real quick. Tamil said, what about used coats?
Use codes. Okay, definitely. You can contact me on Facebook. I'm also part of the Women's Empowerment Group. I can also give you my email. You can email me, call me. I can come pick them up. You know, I'll
Such
gladly take I'll gladly take coats, hats, gloves. When I was so it was a wonderful thing last year. We found two brothers that needed some nice work boots, and we were able to give it to them.
oh, that's nice.
nice.
I said, "All right, brother, go out there and get that job."
Uh-huh.
So it's coming along. It's coming along. I'm not going to force anything on it. I do whatever the will of the Creator tells me to do, what the Father tells me to do. Okay, whatever for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
What is one misconception that people think about the line of work that you do?
Homeless work or autism advocacy.
Both.
So,
Okay. Um, First thing first, people. I recently on Saturday went to a church. And nice people, very nice people. I was invited, and it was different little things, little workshops. It was cute. And then the conversation turned to four Nigerian nurses. These are all Africans, and a couple of doctors. And their conversation was about autism, especially disorder. They saw, and everything they said was negative. I mean, it was They have to wear diapers. They bang their heads. They don't get it. They sometimes they don't do this and they do that. And I'm like, and here I am with my three sons. I'm like, you just insulting all of us.
Yeah.
I let them keep on going, and I said, and then one gentleman stood up. He said, "Ah, I have a situation. A friend of mine and her husband are getting a divorce because the child's autistic. He don't know no better. It's breaking up their family. People are saying it's witchcraft." I'm like, and I just couldn't take it no more. I said, "Let me ask you a question, please." Excuse me, church finger, church finger. I said, "Hi, um, what does autism look like? Um, am I speaking well?
Right.
Yeah. Am I making eye contact? Yeah. Does it look like I'm wearing a diaper? Does it mean that I have my IQ diminished? No. I said I'm autistic. I got diagnosed at the age of 34. I'm 38 now, and I'm raising three autistic children. And the misconception about people who have autism, they assume the more severe levels, but they don't think about the broad spectrum of high functioning. We call high function. I hate that word, high functioning. You're functioning no matter what. If you blinking your eyes and rubbing your nose, you functioning, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So let's stop
Mm-hmm.
that. But you learn that people don't understand.
Yeah.
You go through social masking and you're able to keep up, but it's very exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
People want you to come in their world. Well, why don't you come into ours? It's peaceful on this side. All we want to do is eat and sleep.
Yeah.
We don't worry about all the rest of that stuff that you guys doing, the hatred and all that stuff. We don't worry about that. We do have people on the spectrum that have some idiosyncrasies that can be considered negative, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not everybody.
Right.
Well,
Uh,
well, is it really? I guess the question is, I don't even know how to properly ask this. So, I used to work with autistic individuals, and I believe that the capacity is at what you allow it to be.
exactly.
Um, I had an individual one time that I worked with that was an autistic nonverbal male. And I feel like he was nonverbal because of the environment of people believing that he was autistic that didn't work with him to be able to help him speak because he was smarter than a whip. But a lot of people just felt like because he was autistic, they didn't want to give him the time in a day. And so me working with him, I didn't do any of that. Like we communicated, and people used to just wonder, like, if he's nonverbal, how are you communicating? And I said he understands what I'm talking about,
Right.
and he knows what I like and what I don't like, and how to get my attention and show me what it is that he wants or he needs. So that's how we're communicating. He knows how to get his needs met, and I know how to get my needs met. Like, I don't reward the bad behavior. And I do know the difference between behaviors versus this is just part of him.
Hmm.
And I start to realize in that moment that his life could be so much fruitful if people just didn't give him those crutches
Yes.
or assume that he needed those crutches.
Yes.
Um, and he didn't need any of them.
No.
He was smarter than everybody else in the house.
My youngest son is nonverbal and epileptic, and his name is Bryson. And Bryson is the biggest one in the whole house. I mean, the fact is he's 8 years old. He has so much personality. He has so much wit. I mean, literally one time my father was watching him and he was trying to sneak away into the kitchen, and instead of him just walking tiptoeing, he decided to get on his belly and crawl to get to the kitchen, he made himself a croissant sandwich with some cheese on it. And my dad called me. He said, "That boy is smart." I said, "Yeah. Don't limit anybody because of a diagnosis."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would have never, and my youth, some of our diagnoses don't even go years. Here I am finding out. I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense." That because I got so used to masking myself, trying to fit in, I lost myself. And then I didn't really start becoming back to the person I am now until I had children.
Mm-hmm.
So I never limited my children, especially in the school system when they're telling me that my son can't write cursive. I said, "How's he going to sign a check?" How you gonna sign this insurance information? Teach my child cursive. If you're not gonna teach my child, then I'll do it myself.
Mm.
So advocate for your kids and realize, and one thing's for sure, and that people joke around and say, "Well, you're autistic." Oh my! I said, "It stopped me from getting pregnant 3 times."
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't stopped anything else going on with my body. So it just changed I just have a different perspective of life.
Well, and I think everyone has a different perspective in life. I think that it's just the tools that we choose to use, or the tools that we were given, and how it is that we're using those tools. Um, Even though, like you said, you have a nonverbal son, doesn't mean that he'll always be that way. So you know, at any day, he could just start laughing out of nowhere, and that laugh can be like, okay, I do have a voice, like. And he could, with some training and some therapy, he could start talking.
Yeah, he just recently told me, I got upset with him and he did like that. I said, okay. And then the next thing I heard was, "This is so stupid." You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I said, "Oh, you have your moment of clarity. Okay, great. Are you
Yep.
gonna pay some? Are you gonna pay some bills?" Yeah. I said, "Yeah. Okay. Go into your room." But that's the thing that the nuances. It's becoming, it's. I think society is little by little understanding the mindset and how we are and how we maneuver, and we make great contributions, great things. Does anybody have any other questions
Can you answer that one for your shelter, or for
I,
the homeless?
about the homeless? Like I said, the
Misconception.
yeah, the homeless conception is that either you're a drug addict, not educated, poor money managing skills, um, mental illness, um, just wasn't prepared for life. And let's be honest, I think a big thing would help the homeless community would be if, let's go back to school and people actually gave us financial literacy classes.
Okay.
We weren't taught how to manage our money. Our parents were just telling us, "Hey, pay your rent, pay your bills, that's it." But we weren't taught about the things like investments, stocks and bonds, um, on deeper entrepreneurships. They
Mm-hmm.
took away a lot of things like in our schools, like trades.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Teach a kid a trade. Then they wouldn't have to worry about those things. Mental illness. Yes, a person might be suffering from an attack, but it doesn't mean they don't have moments of, being in reality. It could be, you ever imagine you're going to be on the street. Would that make you be the most mentally sound? I know I wasn't.
Yeah.
I cried every day.
Yeah.
It hurts. Not
Hmm.
everybody's a drug addict, and if someone is a reform, addict, give them a chance. If they went through treatment and trying to get it right. If you're telling them, okay, you're still an addict, you're never going to be nothing, they're not going to excel. You're blocking them.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get through those blocks.
I think what the biggest issue is the ignorance of the unknown, right? It's like people don't know. Like if someone's never been homeless or someone's never been autistic and they don't know anyone and haven't researched it, they just form their own opinion on it. And it's like then they're sitting and treating people a certain way and feeling like they're superior to someone when okay, maybe they have this diagnosis, but they probably are smarter than you or the same level of intelligence of you, you know? And I it's just sad when you see how people could easily judge a book by its cover and say, oh, this person or this child is autistic. Let's just write them off. And it's like, no, this is still a person. This is still someone who can thrive in this world and become something amazing, like your boys will, like you are. And I just hate when people try to stick a negative onto something. Yeah, you got a diagnosis, but that's not the end of everything. You know what I mean? Like you said, life still goes on. You still had 3 children, and you have these businesses, you have your job, you're on this podcast, so it's not like just because you have the diagnosis, you're limited with what you can do, you know?
Exactly.
Same thing with someone being homeless. You know, it could be
Yes.
someone who is currently homeless on the street, and we could be giving them a coat, and then next year they could be a business owner making millions of dollars. So, you know, you never can say who and what someone is capable of just based on what certain circumstances happening at that moment.
Absolutely. It happened to me in the shelter once, the family shelter, and the guy was there and he was just talking to me like, and I know you probably didn't finish high school. He was a Caribbean guy, so I'm doing the Caribbean accent. This is not offensive, but this is how he sounded to me. You didn't finish high school. He just kept talking and talking. I'm like,
Wow.
I'm gonna be an advocate just for 1 second here, and this is just coming from a open mind perspective, and so I do understand that yes, people cannot judge books by its cover. None of us should. We are all human. We are all made to be loved on. But I do believe that love comes in different forms.
true.
And when I say love comes in different forms, for homeless individuals, everybody needs to be dealt with on different levels. If you don't know a person, I don't feel as if you need to be forming an opinion and or giving any advice to that person until you get to know that person. But I do believe that just because I'm a mental health case manager by day, and I feel like there's certain people that need to be loved and supported and uplifted in a very tender way. But then we also, on the backhand of that, have individuals where nobody has told them what they were doing wrong in life, and just feel like life owes them something.
True.
And so I think with those kind of individuals, they need more of people keeping it real and being blunt and being honest and as raw as possible. And it's not to be being, beating an individual down. It needs to also come from a loving place.
Absolutely.
But it needs, some people just haven't, like, could you picture yourself in a work world where you really don't know how to do this job, but you applied for it, you got it, and now you are just doing your thing. And a year goes in and nobody has told you whether you were doing it right or you were doing it wrong. And now all of a sudden you come up for your year review and you get all of these things that you've been doing wrong this entire time. It's going to be more detrimental to you in that form versus if all along the way somebody was telling you what it was that you needed to correct. So now if you wait a whole year to tell me that I need to correct this, I'm going to feel like you just don't like me versus these are things that I really needed to correct in life.
Yeah.
Because if it was something that I really needed to correct in life, why you didn't tell me all along the way?
Yeah.
Instead of you now allowing me to get in a space and a place where I feel now in my heart, I've been doing it all the right way because ain't nobody said nothing to me. And so we have certain individuals that are in this world, even me, myself, like I tell my boss all the time, like you give highlights all the time of what people are doing right. My name be missing off of that. Then you sure come to me quick, fast, and hurry when you feel as if I didn't do something. So he's like, but you know that you've been doing it right because I haven't came and said anything to you. No, I need to be congratulated. I need to be entered in. I need to be entered into them emails. I need for people to know that my name to make that list. Like I want to feel part of the team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I need to be acknowledged. I need to be recognized. I need all of that. And so I think that it goes hand in hand with people in life. And then my advocate on for the autism is what people don't know, they just don't know. So they assume that what they know is all of what it is. And so for so long, autism has went under everything. And nobody really talks about it because it's shunned down on whatnot.
It is.
And so I think that that's a conversation that needs to be talked about more frequent and needs to be in open spaces with individuals, because a lot of people just don't know what it means. And so when they hear the word autism, they think like lower IQ, like you said, or you just don't know any better, or somebody done did something wrong during their pregnancy, or whatever the case may be. But it's like we all need to be educated.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're here on this earth for, is to learn. And if nobody is talking about it, nobody will never know. And so then the world is in an abundance of ignorance.
Yes, it is.
And that will just be another field that we're all ignorant to.
Absolutely. I deal with it when I had a gentleman who was trying to date me who made a comment about my children all being autistic. He said, and I'm like, I still kind of cry about it, even though I'm married to somebody else, but it's a thought I feel like it was a personal attack on my children. Is that, what were you smoking or drinking to make them deformed?
Oh.
And I'm like, what did you say? Well, I don't know if I would have a baby with someone like you. All you make is defective children.
No.
Well, that person was ignorant.
And it hurt, but you know what? And I thought about it. I said, you know
It
what?
shouldn't.
That's okay. I said, that's okay. You know what? I said, personal attack, but at the end of the day, my children are going to be better than you.
Yep.
They're going to be more compassionate to you, more understanding than you, and you're still single.
Yeah. For a reason.
And you're still single
and it should not have hurt you in any type of way, because all you should have known is that person just doesn't know any better and is ignorant. And ignorant has to just be able to be okay. You got to be okay with people to be ignorant.
You'll be all right.
Because you can't allow that to come in and affect any of your peace. So to protect your peace and your children's peace, that was just a learning curve and a learning moment
and that was a bullet dodged.
That common sense isn't common anymore, and ignorance is at its all-time high.
Right.
And I do feel what you're saying about some people that need to get that push, because like I said, I'm on the phone with my clients, and sometimes I'm sweet, and then there's some clients I just had to keep it 100 with them. And it's mostly the men. I don't get, it's mostly, I'll get a couple clients. I have one of them that I'm not gonna say too much, but I'm just say that he likes the sauce too much. And gets on the phone, he's yelling and he's all blah, blah, blah. I said, sweetie, I don't understand you. Well, how do you? I said, how about you? I said, do you love your life? Yeah. I said, then why are you destroying yourself? If you love yourself, I don't do drugs. I said, alcohol, anything that you indulge in to block away your feelings becomes a drug.
Yeah.
That bottle's a drug right now. If you can't go a day without drinking, you constantly getting your stomach pumped, you don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I said, brother, I said, look, I'm going to trust you to cope, and I want you to talk to them about your problems. It's okay. You can't do it by yourself. You've been doing it by yourself for so long. I said, I had to ask him, I said, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, trying to get different
results. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and self-sabotaging is real, though. I think that the entire world has at one point in time been there and didn't even realize it. Some people self-sabotage on purpose, and some people self-sabotage on accident.
Absolutely.
Yep. I was actually just having a conversation about that earlier today, about us being able to get out of our own way. Sometimes we don't even realize we're our biggest downfall is because we keep doing things to get in our own way. Get out your own way.
But I think for the most part, I think that what we all need to be doing in life is I am a true believer in everything happens for a reason. And so when there's a moment in my life to where it sits a little bit uncomfortable with me, then I have to ask, like, what am I supposed to be gaining from this? Because even in the worst situations, you can gain something. And so, or what am I supposed to be giving this? Because every situation you're supposed to get something, you're supposed to give something. And so to be able to get through it and be done with it is the faster that you learn what it is that you're supposed to give to it and take from it. And you can find light in every situation. You can be in the darkest tunnel, and there is a light in that tunnel. I mean, when you start to think about, like, okay, this is a challenge and this is a lesson, and I got to make it through here. And so start looking at it like, God puts us all in certain situations, and it's for reasons. You might have needed to be in that dark space for a minute to know that you can handle the dark. You
Yep.
might need to be in that dark space because in that dark space you might have found some armor to put on that's going to get you through your
Right.
next level.
Yep.
We never know what it is. We're not supposed to be questioning it. We're just supposed to be figuring out what we're supposed to take and what we're supposed to give.
Yep.
Absolutely. COVID was my lesson
Mm.
Mhm.
when the pandemic hit because I was working 3 jobs, sending my kids out to school. I really didn't know my children anymore.
Mm. Yeah.
And then when that thing hit and they had to be at home with mama, and on top of it, all of us had it, that's when my youngest son learned to trust me.
Mm.
He was
Mhm.
scared. He was scared to talk to me. I said, okay, mommy's going to take care of you. So she got first she got to use the bathroom real quick, but mommy gonna take care of you. And I learned how to build relationship with my children, the things they like and they didn't like. I learned so much how they bond with each other.
Yeah.
It was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
And now I can take my children to different countries.
Yeah.
I
I
can take
love
them.
it.
I help them. We go to the homeless shelter, teach them about feeding the homeless, teach them about when we had our event. I brought my children.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Help mommy pass out coats and hats to people. Give them donuts. Give them coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I
Humble.
think
Okay.
that we need to bring that back. When my kids were younger, they used to just for Christmas just want everything. They still do to this day, but there was one particular Christmas. My sister was a Jehovah Witness and she didn't do Christmas.
Mhm.
And so I was like, her kids are going to feel this because they've done Christmas all these years. And so I made my kids pick one of their gifts to give to my nieces. And they were so upset about it. And I was like, I don't even understand why you guys are so mad about this. And I had to realize in that moment that they didn't even realize and understand what Christmas was, that it wasn't about receiving, it was about the giving. And
Mhm.
so sometimes to humble each other and even our children, we have to be able to bring it back. We get caught up into this worldly life to where we don't even realize that we need to be letting them know that it's not about what all I can get from this world,
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
but like how you take care of your neighbor.
That's right. Love thy neighbor.
Yep.
Hmm.
And I'm very blessed to have my neighbors in my complex. We are two of us have children who are autistic. One of my other neighbors, she has a child who has he's blind in one eye. He was born with all type of conditions, and he is a living testimony of how powerful the Creator is. Because that baby gets up every day, prays for everybody in the building, and hops his little 3-year-old self on that bus and says, "I love all of y'all."
Oh.
So that it builds a relationship. It's starting about building relationships, finding commonality,
Yeah.
and we got to agree to disagree sometimes.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's
Yep.
not that deep. It's
In a
more
loving way, though.
in a
Yeah.
loving
In
way.
a loving way.
Yeah.
In a loving way. And
And I
like I
feel like
said, you guys have
that's
been awesome to me.
that's real life though. There's always gonna be moments where people don't see eye to eye, but we still love each other. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't
Hmm.
agree with that, or I don't see your point because I have a different perspective. But it's okay. We can still cohabitate and coexist.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it, baby.
That's it. That's it right there.
You got it.
Yeah.
But no, I did want to. I know we're getting ready to be at time. So you will be at the event on the 17th. So the
Yes,
event
I
I'm
will.
speaking of is our vendor fair. We are having small businesses have tables to present whatever services and business that they have. So we do still have spots. But Courtney, what will you have with you?
I will have some of my beautiful Mary Kay products. I will have some flyers about my Warm Hand, Warm Heart and some of my other collab sisters that we're all working together that you guys can not just know is we're a community. And thank you for letting me be part of your community. It's been lovely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially Finesse. I love her makeup.
Oh.
Yeah.
Finesse, her dimples be. And I love the prayers, the prayer line you guys have every morning. Sometimes I have to miss it. I'm running around with these kids, but I do try to listen in to get some good perspectives, get my mind together, get myself grounded. So I'll be selling my Mary Kay products. If you just want to buy one thing, you want to buy a set, let me know.
Yes.
No pressure. If you want, I'll probably do a little demonstration on people, bring in some stuff, put on your face, see how it feels, try before you buy, because I don't want anybody having any problems.
Yeah.
And if you don't like anything else, buy some lip gloss, baby.
Yeah.
Lip gloss go with everything.
Because your lip gloss is popping. I might need to get that.
It
That's that
is.
that chocolate. I'm telling you, that chocolate with the brown with the orange outfit. I saw it.
Uh-huh.
The hubby. My husband's still in another country, so he picked out my outfit. He said, "I want you to wear this, baby." I said, "Really? Again?"
I like it.
I said, "I do what he say."
You did
But
good. Good job,
yeah,
hubby.
thank you so much, sisters, for your time, women.
Yes.
I'm trying to bring more sisters into this woman empowerment
Bring
Minnesota.
them.
I hope it spreads throughout all 50 states and territories,
Oh, yes.
so we can have some conventions.
Yes,
We are currently rebranding as we speak. So
Yes,
yes.
we are most definitely
That's more to
rebranding.
come.
yes,
And no,
please.
thank you for coming. We appreciate you spending the time with us, letting us know about your past and your businesses. And I just can't wait to see how it flourishes. I'm just so excited with everything. So
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you.
Stay in
And we
prayer.
will make sure to leave your information in the chat. So if someone watches it later, they can, access your page or email. We'll add all of that to that. Okay.
Okay, do I need to send it to you, or
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
or later, or
You could you could just send it later and then I'll add it
okay?
in the comments and stuff, so they'll be able to see it. So yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank
But
you guys so much.
yeah, thank you. And
Thank
we're about
you.
to wrap. Thank you for everybody who's watching. If you're watching the live or if you're watching this recording later, we have just had an amazing conversation with Courtney about her businesses, with Mary Kay, and then also with the Warm Hearts and Warm Hands. So much more to come with that. And if you do want to donate to either the cause of the Warm Hearts and Hands with the coats, if you want to donate funds, all of that, her information will be in the comments later. And then Mary Kay products will be available at our vendor event on May 17th.
Come see me.
That is at 12 until 4 p.m. And we'll have that information on the page as well. But yeah, I can't wait to get some of that lip gloss. But
I'll have it ready for you, baby.
good.
And the vendor event for people that are coming in and want to explore vendors and see what people are selling, it is free to the community to come in and check us out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just bring your money to pay for whatever items you pick up, because there's going to be lots of vendors.
I take Cash App, I take Venmo, I take cash, and I don't want to go to jail, because I would say I take food stamps, but I'm not going to jail.
Look, we're not condoning that. We're at the end now.
We will also have food vendors there, so you guys can check out their food. All kinds of different things. We're gonna have music. We're gonna do announcements.
It's gonna be a
maybe
good
some
time.
raffles.
Door prizes. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be great. Please come through. Come through. Support us.
Come check us out.
All of us. But we will let y'all go. Y'all have a good evening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.